Welcome everybody. Another episode of the Centre Circle podcast. We got myself, John, today.
Daz in the building.
Keith.
What's happening, boys? What are we, episode 61?
61.
Wow.
Chugging along nicely to the magic 100.
I know.
Come around sooner than we think.
It's another 39 weeks, but anyway. So a few bits to run through. The Premier League title pushes out another week, right? Everyone's doing what they need to do, so that goes out another week. We're quickly running out of weeks. Relegation battle, again, some people are doing what they need to do, others are not. Burnley. And then the top four musical chairs kind of goes on. Villa not reading the script. Angeball clearly is not doing what he needs to do. And Mr. Moyes is making a mockery of my colleagues on the pod. And then also we'll talk a little bit about the Euro squad. Now that it's a bit bigger, are there some people who should be getting a look in? VAR, of course, constant talking point, which Arsenal benefited from, I would argue. The championship has been settled, and a friend of the pod has got a reason to celebrate this week. So yeah, before we get into it, as always, please, comment, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. It helps the pod more than you know. All right, cool. So first game, let's go to City Wolves. Let's go to City Wolves first. Some of the narrative I've heard around the City Wolves game, predominantly from Arsenal fans, granted, is that Wolves didn't even try. They just let City roll them over, etc., etc. What do you think? As someone who hasn't got a horse in the race now.
Oh, have I not? Sorry. Didn't realise my horse had been shot.
Yeah.
It's quite funny you started like that because pre-match there was a few rumblings online from Arsenal fans because Gary O'Neill's one-match ban was served on Saturday, but the offence happened a couple of weeks ago. And they were like, oh, now they're playing Man City. They're banning him from the dugout, and it's not fair. But that's just football, isn't it? Like, it's just a coincidence, But I can understand why fans might feel like that. Having been on the other side, so kind of the Arsenal side, seeing Manchester City having to put the performances in the back end of the season, I wasn't surprised they played how they did on Saturday. Like, they know what to do. They went out. They were ruthless from the off. People say that Wolves didn't try, but there's some games where the opposition that you're playing against is superior, and it hasn't happened often this season with Manchester City where they've kind of blown teams away. And this was one of those games where I know a lot of Arsenal fans might have tuned in for the hate watch, as they're calling it now.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first goal went in pretty early, and you kind of think Wolves aren't really going to come back into this. And Manchester City done what they had to do. Like, that's it. And the robot was back.
I mean, it's a Wolves team, so away at the current champions. What were people expecting? Expecting them to go there and pop Man City off the pitch? I don't understand.
But when you're in Arsenal's position and Arsenal fans' position, as I said before on this pod, it's the hope that kills you. You have that hope that after your team have done what they have to do, that whoever your rivals are going against, you hope that they might pull something off.
Irrational hope kills you, because at the end of the day, you got to look at the facts for what they are. I mean, did you see any of the game, Daz?
Yeah, I saw some of it, but I wasn't expecting Wolves to do anything, so I wasn't disappointed at the end because I wasn't expecting Wolves to do anything. Wolves are sitting in 12th, mid-table. Man City have sort of clicked into gear, so I'm expecting 3-4-0 because Man City, if you look at it, the last few games, if Arsenal hadn't kept up these big wins as well, Man City would have wiped out the goal difference. That's how good they've been playing. So, yeah, I wasn't really... I know there's certain fans that you see online and that, but if you're a rational fan, as John says, like you expect them to win. So it would have been more of a shock for me if Man City didn't do that. So
Yeah.
that's expected. And to be fair, even looking forward, I don't expect Man City to slip up at all. I think they'll get the 9 points, and I think they'll win the league. So when you're at that standpoint, you just got to say, oh, you got to hand it to them and be like, well done.
Yeah, and I think again, if you actually watch the game before the penalty, I know the penalty was 12 minutes in, but before the penalty, this wasn't a team that came to lie down. You know, they were still trying to play their football, play out from the back, you know, etc., etc. But the pressure they were on from early, clearly the goal difference is the thing that City really want to wipe out just in case. And people have to understand, once the first one goes in, and then it's hard. It's hard for that team to keep going. They fashioned a couple of chances. The goal that they scored actually was a really, really good finish. Edison, though.
Mistake,
I mean, he needs to not be coming out and flapping like that. I don't know what's going on with goalkeepers at the moment. They're just all moving a bit mad. But yeah, you know, after all the talk about Haaland, and he's, you know, without the ball, he's a League One player and all of this stuff. He scores a decent variety of goals. Penalty, header, left foot rocket.
It was 2 penalties, wasn't it? It was 2 penalties.
Two penalties.
2 penalties.
two
Yeah,
penalties.
2 penalties.
Header and the left foot rocket.
The first penalty was a bit dubious, I would say.
Oh, more than dubious.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
Bit
terrible
dubious.
decision.
I thought it was harsh. Like,
Yeah.
once it's given, it's not a clear enough error or mistake from the referee because they did come together. But I still think
It wasn't even a foul. It wasn't a foul.
yeah, I still think it's harsh, to be honest.
And those are the kind of things where if your Wolves was already going to be difficult, you don't need a decision like that going against you. You just don't. And then the floodgates open. You know, you got to chase the game a little bit. And as the game went on, they were going for it. Wolves were going. Then they're leaving themselves exposed at the back. And it was, you know, I remember looking at the clock at one point. It was like 19. This is just after the first goal, a few minutes after. And it's 19, 20 minutes. But if I had put something over the clock and said, what stage is this game at? You'd have thought it's the last 2 minutes. The pressure that they were on, every time they came out the Wolves box, Man City were back. Man City were back.
Yeah.
Man City were back. So don't need decisions like that going against you. And then, of course, the robot just does what he does. You know, Cole Palmer must have been thinking, well, I could make, I could really make my season a thing, golden boot. But Haaland said, nah, I'm sorry, bro.
That's over now.
Not happening. Even though he scored again. It's not happening. And then, Alvarez gets on the score sheet. I mean, apart from the dubious penalty decision, that Man City were good for it. To Daz's point, these are the kind of performances that you churn out and you can just do. This is where Arsenal weren't able to do that at this point in the season last year. And to a little bit, to a lesser extent this year, because, you know, you go back to the Villa game. You know, you win that Villa game, obviously other things could have changed. You go back to the Villa game, all else been equal. You know, the best City can do is draw us at this point.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it's a tough one, man, because obviously...
Well, no, actually, that's a lie. We're one
No,
point ahead.
yeah.
It would have been in our hands.
Yeah, and it's those fine margins, isn't it? And since Pep won the first league title, we said like the points tally to win the league is 90 plus. And I think if City win all their games, I think they end up on 90 or 91.
91.
Yeah, so that's the marker in it, and that's just that's insanity. Like, I'm obviously going back years, but teams are winning the league with like 81 points, 84 points.
I think we won it one year with 79. Yeah, I think we won it with 79 in 98.
So they're essentially saying you've got to win an extra 4 games throughout your season, and that just puts pressure on everyone else. In it, like the slip ups are.
Yeah, and
they've got to
again,
be minimal.
I think as a fan, sometimes if you're losing those games to a City, to a Liverpool, and it's one of those kind of games, then okay. But the games we didn't win, you can all point to them and be like, no, that was just a bad performance. It wasn't superlative quality. It wasn't, you know, even the first Villa game. So yeah, but this whole narrative of, you know, it's a bit crazy. Since Pep, hold on, Man United lost the league on goal difference. We've had that before. This is not a Pep thing. This is not.
No, but I guess, but that was
But
that was a Mancini team. And even then, the points tally wasn't
as
as
high.
high. All I'm talking about is like the point
the
tally
number
that
of points.
you've got to achieve.
Yeah, but I think separately, people have talked about that. Even just making the title challenge go this close, whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm like, that's nothing new. That's just that's how it should be. We've had.
Yeah, we lost it twice.
Oh, okay, sorry, man.
But the points tally, is crazy. To know that just to have a chance, you've got to get over 90 points. And that's a lot. That's
30 games.
Because you've got to think, Arsenal now have won 26 games. That's the same amount we won in the Invincible season. And we've won 26 games to the season. We've still got 2 more left.
Yeah,
but the standard of the league has gone up, man.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. It's gone to the same level. If you feel to get over 90 points and not win the league is obviously it happened to Liverpool a couple of times. It must be heartbreaking, to be fair.
Boy, I don't know. It's 75-8% of your games. It's not. Yeah, if you want to win the league, you got to do it.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But yeah, it's a high bar.
For what they say, the Premiership won't be anyone can beat anyone on their day, sort of thing. But that's the point.
Anyone can beat anyone on their day. You need to make sure you have more days than anyone else. So that's that. Yeah. And I think, at any point when a league is at the top of its cycle, these are the kind of close encounters you see. Because back in those days, there was literally just a couple of teams blowing everyone away by like February.
Yeah.
And then them two are just punching it up all the way. And we had a little bit closer. Liverpool really dropped out in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Really. So yeah. Anyway, March is on. Talking of Arsenal, Arsenal managed to beat Bournemouth yesterday 3-0 at home. 3-0's I won't say it's a kind score. Arsenal were good for it, but our friends, our refereeing colleagues had a hand in it as well. The penalty, Kai Havertz's penalty, does talk to me.
Yeah, I think the general consensus is that it is a penalty, but he sort of bought it, and it's something I feel like going forward is going to be looked at and used as an example, and I think you're going to start to see that type of penalty given less. Reason being is that Havertz is not. His movement's not natural. After he knocks it past the goalie, he slides his foot along the ground.
But he initiates contact. Basically.
Yeah. But the goalkeeper's put his foot out and stopped. His foot stopped there, and Havertz has slided his foot and hit along the ground to hit the goalie's foot.
The alternative views could be that he didn't make any effort to avoid the goalie, which is not his job to do. If the goalie doesn't come out of there, it doesn't hit his foot.
But that's what they're saying. What they're saying is that Havertz is the one that's initiated the contact. If Havertz doesn't run into him, the goalie stopped. The goalie's not running to Havertz. Havertz running to the goalie. If you see what I'm saying, that's where they're trying to change.
Be a
you know what it reminded me of Saka in the Champions League with Neuer. It was sort of similar. And Arsenal never got that one. So it's the kind of thing where I think you're going to start to see referees start giving that less.
Change the direction. Like Havertz is going forward, and from the official's point of view, if you don't go out there and do that, he's not impeded. And even when you look it back on the video, you've clapped his leg. And I don't think it was as simple as the goalkeeper was stationary. Kind of come into it. The goalkeeper is making a motion towards him, but his leg, you could argue his leg didn't need to be there at that point where the goalkeeper got there. But it's not my job to avoid you. Is it?
Yeah, you're going to play for it. Like, it was similar to Elliott and Wan-Bissaka when we played Man United.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people said it wasn't a penalty because Elliott left his leg in. But
is it his job to avoid you though?
Yeah, it's like the nature of the beast.
If we're saying it is, and you shouldn't be able to play for it, cool. But, bruv, if you come to make contact with me, it's not my job to avoid you.
Yeah.
Especially if there's greater chance of me scoring a penalty than actually scoring.
Yeah, it's the marginal gains, innit? Like, if you can initiate the contact in a position that's going to make the outcome favourable to your team and yourself, you're going to do it. Like, he's not the first person to do it. He won't be the last.
No, but it's more to the point where that's they're going to clamp down.
Yeah, I think it'll be hard to.
I think it'll be hard to because
exactly. I'm trying to focus what exactly they're clamping down on.
Yeah, it's still subjective. Like, you can always say, "Oh, he left his leg in," but unless he's actively stretching out,
and we've seen those ones. We've seen those ones where
it's like,
people go through. the player's almost behind them and then their leg just catches. We've seen those ones, right? But
I think it would be hard to police. But I can understand if they were to change the rules slightly. But yeah, you lot I think you scored at the right time because Bournemouth they weren't in the game, but they were doing enough to kind of keep you out in it. And I think getting that penalty just before half time kind of always.
To be fair, we should have been about 2-3 up before that.
Yeah.
Before the goal. We actually ruined them in that. In that first half, we tore them apart.
Yeah,
didn't finish. To be fair, Bournemouth were a lot better in the second half. Once they had gone 1-0 down. And there was a point where it was in the balance. It was sort of got a bit like a basketball game. Both teams were going forward, and it was just a 5-10 minute spell where he thought someone's going to score here, but he didn't know which side was going to. And then Arsenal got the second goal, and that sort of relaxed everybody. So yeah, Bournemouth done well.
Yeah, and then they had a goal disallowed.
Yes,
for 2-0 foul on David Raya. I feel like that was soft. What do you think?
Very soft, yeah. Very soft.
It was a let off.
I thought he was lucky to get that.
Yeah, 100%. And we've spoken about the protection that goalkeepers get on this pod before, haven't we? So
which I just
it was. You can see he kind of pulled his hands away quite early. Like he could see like Raya coming towards him, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not engaging." So, yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda, innit? Like you never know what would happen.
Yeah, but we're talking about marginal games. Those are the things that there's an argument that referees are humans that always make mistakes. But I think those are some of the things where we have good referees and we have referees that aren't as good.
Yeah,
and the good referees tend to get those decisions right more often than the others, right? That's why we class them as the good referees. That's why they're more highly ranked. And it's like, how do they bring up the standard? So there's less and less of these kind of decisions. I mean, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you almost eliminate human error. And that's maybe where VAR needs to be able to help the ref.
But I'm not sure if I said it on here before, but I think there should be VAR officials who strictly do VAR, don't referee games.
The specialists.
And then VAR there should be referees who are on the pitch and fourth officials, etc. Like all this crossover, it's not working because we've seen over the weeks or even the season, just like the consistency is not there. Where if you've got someone in the VAR, Stockley Park, week in, week out, that's your job. The consistency is going to be higher because you haven't got different people going in there every
Don't
week.
You think that those VAR specialists have got to have refereed the game? Like,
oh yeah,
previously, would need a refereeing background. Like you couldn't, not one of us going in there.
No, so I'm not saying
someone who's been on the pitch and actually refereed the game and understands certain things about refereeing.
I'm not saying go on LinkedIn. I'm not doing like no LinkedIn posts on that. They should be professional referees, and I don't necessarily think they have to have refereed in the Premier League to do that. Like, so you could get championship.
So it could be a track almost. Yeah. So when you're going for the current referee process,
you're
it's
going to
almost a VAR track, or go on the pitch track.
Yeah, and I think that would eliminate a lot of the errors that you have because you're having different people in VAR every week who have got a different subjectivity to what happens in the game. Where if you know that's your job, this happened last week, we didn't give a penalty for that.
I don't agree necessarily. Because I think that doesn't remove the human element. I think you'll get better consistency in terms of procedural errors, maybe. So the stuff we saw Tottenham Liverpool where they just forgot to do stuff, or like we've seen other offside goals where they forgot to draw the lines. I think you eliminate a lot more of that. But that human element of seeing something and being like, no pen, I don't think we eliminate that as much. So yeah, I think you do it.
Yeah. The on-field stuff, you still have the
because what you're
error.
describing, essentially, there are certain referees that are only doing VAR now. The ex-referees, there's some that their job is they only do VAR. They don't they don't referee on the pitch no more.
Oh, I thought
that's like half semi-retirement for them.
Okay.
So there's some referees that do that. Even like Mike Dean or like a couple of ones that are recently retired, they've gone into the VAR room. So that does happen, but obviously it's older referees. So maybe you want some younger ones who are going to be more tech savvy and understand the angles better. Yeah. One thing I will say about the Arsenal-Bournemouth game is that referees' actions in that scenario did sort of baffle me a little bit because if he thought he gave a foul against Raya, but if he thought it was a foul on Raya, he didn't blow the whistle. He's waited for the punch to go out. the Bournemouth player, hit it back, hit the bar, then come back to the next Bournemouth player, and then he scores. And then the whistle goes and he gives a foul. I'm thinking, why did you wait all that time then if you thought it was a foul? If you thought it was a foul, Rayo, you would give that straight away. There's no advantage to be gained or anything like that.
There's no way VAR say, listen, mate, you've missed something.
Yeah, they're not gonna do. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. So it's very strange. It was very strange, but I think I see him put the whistle to his mouth. So I think he almost thought that looks a foul to me, but I'm not 100% sure.
So he waited.
Yeah, waited, and then when it's gone in the goal, he thought, oh damn, I better give that foul. So yeah, it was very very strange.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Very interesting one. I mean, another goal for Saka. He's now on 16 goals. 16 Prem goals and 9 assists. I think the consistency for him is kind of getting there season after season. There's this constant thing about him and Phil Foden, but I don't even think they should be compared. I mean, thinking about the conversation we had, excuse me, last week, or last episode around, actually no, it was the episode before, around how often or not when the Secret Scout was here, Arteta uses his squad, etc. Trossard scored again.
Yep.
He's made his way into the team. He's keeping Martinelli on the bench. And that is a perfect example of you might start as an impact player, but you affect games, you know, and then Martinelli, I think, got an injury, to be fair, but then he hasn't been able to make his way back in. So is there also a side of things where not enough players are making that impact or taking that chance? Because as Trossard has showed, when you do that, you will play. You will start games. You will make your way back into the team. Or actually, is it just that maybe Arteta's bar is too high and he needs to use more of his squad?
No, I think he's got the balance right. Like you're top of the league with 2 games to go, so he's got the balance of how he's utilising his squad pretty much on point. I think the only criticism you could level at him was the experiments he was doing at the start of the season. So he party right back, not playing. And that might be the thing that cost you the league. You never know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think other than that, he kind of got it right. I think if you said to him, can I get 2 or 3 more top players in the squad so he could rest others a bit more, I think he would do it. Like, you get to like the Man City levels, etc. Yeah, he like any manager would. But for what he's doing now, it's working. But I don't think this sustains over a long period over 2-3 seasons. Got away with it this season, might even win the league of it. But can you do it again next season when you want to go further in the Champions League?
No, I think we definitely need 1 or 2 players. To your point, and you think about Champions League and stuff, I think we need at least 1 or 2 players.
I think he's got it spot on. If you think about it, on Friday, there was 2 teams that reported the injury report of every player in the squad fit. Arsenal and Man City. The 2 teams sitting at the top of the league. On Friday, both their managers said the whole squad is fit.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. And they're both in Champions League, got the furthest in the Champions League. So I think Pep and Arteta both got it 100% correct. If at this stage of the season, you've got a fully fit squad to pick from, you must have been doing something right throughout the season.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. One last thing. I mean, Gabriel.
Oh, what a finish! No, it's reminiscent of.
Rio.
It pains me to say that Rio against us.
Yeah, I remember. Was that for them to win the league or something?
No,
or was it Fergie's last game? It was a game.
Fergie's last game.
Yeah, it was a game
Fergie's
of some significance, and then
slapped it.
Well, Fergie's last Liverpool game. I think it was like he's maybe 3rd to last or something like that. Yeah,
and I just remember thinking you would never even bother with that shot normally, but where was that game?
He scored 2 that day, didn't he? He scored 2.
Yeah, he scored a header as well.
He scored 2.
Yeah, good finish though.
Yeah,
it's a shame it got disallowed.
Yeah, good season for him as well. I mean, when we get to the end of the season, regardless of what happens, unless we totally capitulate, we'll finish 2nd. Lots of talk will be about Rice. Lots of talk will be about Odegaard and Saka.
Rice deserves a mention. To come in for £100 million and nobody even blinks an eyelid at it.
Exactly. But I think, and a lot of talk will be around Saliba, but Gabriel, I would argue, has probably been
the better of the team.
Yeah. Marginally better. Like, Saliba's been top class, but effectively, we haven't seen mistake-ridden Gabriel that we saw
He
last year.
did make a couple on Saturday though in
He
the
did, but
first half, and there was one in particular. Solanke took it off of him,
Yes.
and Saliba saved him.
Yeah.
So he needs to make sure
Well,
that
if we-
doesn't sneak back into his game.
If we compare it to last year, we would watch games feeling like he's got a mistake in him.
Yeah.
And this year,
Yeah.
all that's gone. So yeah, younger centre backs will always have that. So yeah, the race carries on. Ended the kind of game week with Arsenal having played 36 games on 83 points. City having played 35 games on 82 points.
Can I just ask you a question, John? I'm going to give you 3 London teams: Fulham, Spurs, and West Ham. Which one out of the 3 have you got most faith in to do anything?
Funnily enough, West Ham.
That's who I think as well.
At City.
But that's I think West Ham. And the thing is, it's the last game of the season.
I'd say
I think it
Fulham.
makes it harder. But at the 3, if I'm looking at it in isolation, I'm thinking West Ham.
I'd say Fulham.
Fulham?
I'd say Fulham.
Nah.
Have you seen them play recently?
Have you
Not
seen West
Fulham.
Ham play recently? Other than us giving
Okay,
them...
let me rephrase that.
West Ham have conceded 12 goals
I know.
in the last 3 games.
But out of those 3, as we're gonna come and talk on, Spurs,
No, they're just
come on,
out of it.
they've lost how many games? Well, they've lost 3 games in a row now. I think
4 games in a row.
They've conceded
4. They've conceded like 15 or something
goals
goals.
in
Yeah,
4
it's mad.
games. So are they gonna turn that? I mean, football's a funnier game, but yeah, based on today, based as we are today, even with West Ham getting whooped, I think they're all gonna lose.
Yeah,
But
I think they're all going to lose.
If you put a gun to man, I'll be like West Ham, and I don't know why, but I just think
Yeah, it's funny. That.
if he's
I
got
agree.
everyone there, like I tell everybody, it's the last game, he's under a bit of pressure. Moyes could set them up to get a. They're not gonna win.
No, just a draw.
Just
Yeah.
a draw.
That's all we
There's no one's winning.
Do it for Deck.
Yeah, that's true.
What's that? Do it for
So,
Deck.
kicking it back to you, man,
Mm.
are you 100% confident against United at Old Trafford?
No.
I am.
I think we should win. I'm not 100% confident. That's still a hard game. I think our game, Man United, is harder than any game that Man City's got left.
I think you're going to walk it.
No.
And the reason why I
No.
say that is what we done to them at Old Trafford. I know we came away with a draw, but we bossed them for like 60 minutes. And I think in that 60 minutes, Arsenal have enough to get the 2 or 3 goals to put them to bed.
I hear you.
And that's what we didn't do.
I hear you. But if you look at the rejuvenated Arsenal against Man United, it's never been plain sailing.
No.
It's always taken a couple of incidents here and there. Their goal that got disallowed for the offside, that really, I don't think it was offside, to be honest.
That was,
that
that was so close.
That was
It
like...
was off
And
though, innit? The lines were
Arsenal
drawn.
lose that game. Arsenal,
Yeah.
if that's not offside, Arsenal lose that game.
So, yeah,
And that's
you're
at
right.
home.
On paper right now, we should be dealing with them, right? 2-2 draws with Burnley, and we should be dealing with them and Brentford or whatever, but just never the case. They're always up for it. And that's the game Rashford would decide he wants to play. Yeah. So
So
I'm
if-
confident,
look
but
how
it's not going to
good
be a
we-
whooping.
Look how good we were last season. We lost there.
There you go.
So
Mm.
if they win on Saturday, you lose, they can win the league on...
Tuesday
yeah,
against
it's
Tottenham,
over.
yeah.
Jeez.
At the lane, yeah.
Yeah, it's over, bro.
That's a madness.
It's over. And Terrell made a good point.
Who?
Kind of offline. Oh, okay. Where he was like, actually, if you want them to drop points, you want them to drop points after we've played. So actually, the way you want them to drop points is Spurs. Because they drop points on Saturday before us.
Puts pressure on.
And then there's so much pressure, blah, blah, blah. So it's
No.
like, let them win, we win, and then, I don't get me wrong, I'll take the drop points
I
anyway.
want them to drop, but literally,
Anyway,
it don't matter. If you got that pressure, if you want to win the league, take that pressure, go and win.
No, I agree with you, but it's
Mm.
less of two evils, isn't it? And I hadn't thought about it that way before. But he does make a point like, so you come out Sunday, you've done your job, you've brought it back to square. Then on Tuesday,
Pressure's on them.
all right. And because if they lost on Tuesday,
It's in your hands.
yeah, and then that's it.
Well, even if they draw, it's in our hands.
No,
No,
Well,
go
let's
difference.
say the
Well,
goal
I'll-
difference because right now,
we're
goal
still
difference.
six
Oh,
or
still
7.
6 goals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
still
So
6
I
goals.
think I can't really see them catching us on the goal difference.
Nah.
So it's,
Unless they have a madness on Saturday and then you do a madness on Sunday in terms of not picking up.
Man, there's no scenario where they draw, man. Let's just play this out, yeah. I don't know.
but even if they won it on Tuesday against Spurs, It's gone to the last week of the season, isn't it?
A bit of
So
hate
it's
in my
like-
heart, but I want it to go down to Sunday and you not lose it. Just so you know how I felt.
Because if we win Arsenal win on Sunday, then it's going to the last day regardless of what happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine a scenario where because just think about it, yeah? It's 65th minute, 70th minute, yeah? They're drawing. Bruv, I'm dashing everybody on the pitch. What is it? It's still 5 subs in it.
Yeah.
Bruv, I'm dashing everybody on. Everyone will be on. Haaland, Doku, Grealish, Alvarez.
But they know what
He's
to
not
do.
That's what
drawing,
they
bruv.
done last time, though, innit? Against Aston Villa.
Bruv, they were 2-0 down at half-time.
He brought Gundogan and all them.
I was half celebrating.
He brought Gundogan and all that on, innit?
I was like, they're gonna draw. Like, because a draw would have done us that day. They turned it around, man. And they still had like 15 minutes left.
Weren't you guys not winning till late, though?
Yeah, but we got.
That's the only thing is that I don't think at any point you lot were actually winning the title because you never scored until after they come back.
Yeah.
So like, I think that would be worth if you actually, if
In-
you lot
in-
scored,
in
if
pole
you were
position.
actually winning,
Yeah.
in the live table, I don't think you lot ever went ahead that year. But yeah, to actually be ahead and then to lose it would be
crazy.
Yeah,
But
it'd be
it's good that
horrible.
it's going it's nice not being in the mix
Yeah.
and seeing it go down to the wire. Because like I say, it hasn't happened that many times of late. So yeah, it's good, man. Like for the neutral and
And it changes.
Well,
It's
it's-
not
well,
used to.
Liverpool's still not mathematically out of it. It's just you're still in the mix.
Yeah, but they need.
It's still
they need
mathematically.
two
we
goals,
need
both of us in this.
we need essentially 5 losses. You lose 2 games. And then Man City lose 3 games. Like, that's not going to happen. is it?
Oh, really? Is that the maths that you need now? You need
Yeah,
them
pretty
to lose all their games.
Yeah.
Arsenal at 1 point behind what
Yeah, it's
they
5
can get.
points.
Yeah.
innit? So if you win on Sunday, then we can't catch you.
All right, cool. So if we flick it now to the other end of the table, relegation battles. Luton drew Everton yesterday 1-1.
Friday. Friday.
Friday, sorry, yeah. Drew Everton Friday 1-1. I mean, Everton were already safe, so that's the game Luton really needs to take control of. And we've talked a little bit over the last few weeks. I think some of those teams down there, their fixture calendars a little bit kinder than others because they're playing teams around them. So actually, you take those points, you're bettering your situation and worsening theirs. But they could only manage a 1-1. Not a disaster, but it really didn't help them much.
Yeah, especially with. So they would have gone above Nottingham Forest on Friday if they had won.
Exactly. We would have put the pressure on.
Yeah. Ahead of them, Nottingham Forest.
They
and
needed to
Sheffield
win
United.
that one.
Yeah,
They needed to
did.
win that.
And
But the thing is, so they're 3 points behind Forest. Thing is, we've still got Forest's points deduction to come true.
that's. Well, no, they've got the points
added,
deducted.
yeah, the people getting more
The
points,
appeal.
getting points back.
Yeah, the appeal.
Yeah, they're not going to lose anymore. They could get some back.
No, so they were. I thought Forest's points have already been deducted.
Yeah.
It's
So
been
they could get a
deducted.
couple
Yeah,
back
so
to
they-
make them even further
Well,
away.
so their appeal was
Yeah.
only for 1 point back.
What,
No,
1
so
or
I-
2?
yeah.
They're not decided yet.
So what I read was they appealed for their points deduction to be reduced from 4 to 3.
Oh, okay.
That's what I read.
But I've heard that they're now deciding whether to give them 1 point back or 2 points back.
Oh.
So that's why it's been delayed. It was meant to come this week and then it's been delayed.
Apparently it's coming this
Yeah.
week.
So either way, the barrier just gets wider for Luton.
Yeah, basically.
They could get confirmed ready. Well, actually, this will go down to the wire then. I
No,
guess.
it can get confirmed this weekend. If Forest win and Luton don't, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, but I thought when the decision gets made, that could worse before balls kicked.
Oh,
No.
yeah, no.
But
No,
to
not
be
yet.
fair, maybe not.
But going back to this, like, I don't know if you saw the game, but before Everton scored the penalty that they got, they should have had a penalty before then. Like, not McGinn. McNeil got caught.
Yeah.
And I was like, why didn't VAR give this? Like, this is like the whole point of them being there. But it is what it is.
But to your point, John, that would have been a really bad look for the Premier League if the points deduction settled it. Yeah. That would be, if you was playing no games, they gave him back 2 points and that ended it. That
Wednesday
would be,
morning, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah,
We're
little
confirmed.
statement. Statement. You're relegated. Yeah. That would have been really bad.
Yeah, administratively, it just we don't want that happening. And then if sort of the next in the pie, you got Burnley, Newcastle. I mean, Burnley, man, what was it? 5-1,
4-1.
4-1. Burnley 4-1.
The thing is, like, they've done so well over the last, I think, in the last 8 games, they've only lost 1, I think it is.
Too little, too late, mate.
wow.
And then you'd think, right, at home against an indifferent Newcastle, granted Newcastle have been in a little bit of form, but you thought put it on them and they just look so flat.
Mate.
Like it was really, really bad.
3 goals in 21 minutes. It's like,
So they're as good as gone now, Burnley.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I'm looking at the table now. They are 24 points, Luton 26 points, Forest 29 points. So they're 5 points from safety, 2 games left. Again, they're not mathematically gone, but I think the Nottingham Forest ruling takes them out of it. Like, if they give them back 2 points, they're finished.
Yeah, they can't.
And they've got, if they give back 1 point, because of the goal difference,
they're
down anyway.
Yeah, they're gone. So they need to be preparing for that. Anyway, I'm going to be really interested to see what happens in the summer with Burnley and company.
Isak scored again.
He scored again. Well, it was a good spread of goals. Wilson, forgot about him. Longstaff, Bruno, and Isak.
Yeah.
And Wilson 2 and 2. He's only come back for 2 games. Scored both of them.
They pretty much played 4-4-2.
Did they?
Yeah, which never happens.
Because when I've seen the two of them play before, one of them normally
normally they put Isak out wide, and he ain't
work.
as good out there.
No. But a lot of that FFP talk has died down around Newcastle, but it's still a factor. Now Bruno G to Arsenal's picking up pace. Not interested personally. People are saying that, if they get a decent offer for Isak, they're gonna have to accept it. Obviously, Eddie Howe's doing his best to say I wouldn't sell any of my players we're trying to build, but the Excel spreadsheet says what the Excel spreadsheet says. So, gonna be interesting to see, because if they get any departures, to the nature of it, if you've had to sell people to balance the books, what you can bring in as well is probably a little bit diminished as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and his target must be getting back into.
Do you think Europe is going to be critical for them whether they qualify for Europe or not this season?
Massive.
Oh yeah,
massive for how. And like I said, we don't know who his new bosses are. When they sort out the Dan Ashworth thing, we don't know whose new boss is going to be director of football, etc. They're going to have a view on what management team they want in place, right? So he kind of needs to make as big a stamp as he possibly can.
That's actually a good. At the moment, it's really tight there for the Europa and the conference places.
Yeah.
Really good race at the moment between 6th, 7th and 8th.
Yeah. And I think the Europe thing, I need to check the numbers, but Europa League financially is not, it's not breaking the bank in any way, shape or form. So it's probably more a thing of stabilization. So Champions League last season, cool, it was ahead of time, blah, blah, blah. Got to at least qualify for the Europa this season.
Yeah, I think you get at least $500,000 for winning Europa League. So that's not
$500,000?
Yeah, compared to the Champions League, we know that. But if you win 6 games, that's like 3 million out of nothing, isn't it?
Oh, so I think about $500,000 in total.
No,
per game.
For a win.
Oh.
For a win. Yeah, for a win.
I think it was his Carabao Cup in Europe.
No, the price pot is in the millions, but I'm saying for a win in the group stage, you get like $500,000. So it's not nothing to be sniffed at.
I just think from a footballing point of view, just constant participation in Europe is good. Helps with your recruitment, all that stuff, right? So that kind of puts it there. I mean, Spurs, we're going to come on to Spurs, but this Angeville business, if they're not careful, Newcastle will catch them. And they've got, even though Villa keep helping them out with a loss, they're not catching Villa. That's done.
Yeah, that's done.
So, yeah, it's just, he's going to have some questions to answer, but it's always going to be easy get to say first season, blah, 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 etc. But some of the performances have been terrible. Absolutely terrible. But
They've got to watch out for Man United as well. I mean, Man United got that game in hand. If they beat Palace tomorrow, they're 3 points behind them.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, but it's Man United.
I think Palace are going to get
it's
3
Man
points
United.
tomorrow.
I actually want them. I need them to beat Palace tomorrow, so they think everything's cool in it, and then go up there and deal with them on Sunday. That's what we need. That's what we need. And then Forest, Sheffield United.
Joe was moving brazy.
Bruv.
I was watching this game. I was like, what am I seeing?
I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I never really saw the hype around him. I just thought he was a very good, fast, good with the ball winger. But I never saw the hype. But bruv, right now, he's on a bit of a redemption arc. Do you know what I mean? Helping Forest out of a difficult situation. 2 good goals.
Yeah, the right back, trusty. Wouldn't put my trust in him, I'll tell you that.
Oh, hey. He had a night.
He's an Arsenal boy. He's an Arsenal boy.
Is he?
Yeah, he come from Arsenal.
And the thing is, like, it was simple what Cho was doing. He was just like, run down the left.
But was he playing left back?
Who?
Trusty.
No, right. He's on the right.
Oh, well, that ain't his position then. He's totally out of position.
Well,
He's left-footed. He plays left centre-back or left-back.
Well, that's something that Chris Wilder's
He's
got to
totally
take up
out of
with him.
position.
But, he didn't have a good game.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Forrest and to Nuno. I mean, they've gone there. It's looked shaky at times. Is Awoniyi back? I don't think he's back. So Chris Wood is still leading the line. I mean, after last week, I didn't want to see Chris Wood on the pitch again.
Yeah.
They helped us win the title.
He hit the crossbar from quite close out yesterday as
Yep,
well.
I saw that as well. But Awoniyi came on yesterday, which is good. Made his comeback. So yeah, I mean,
I think Forest have just been lucky. They've not been good. They've just got 3 worst teams in there. Because if you look at the points tally, you got what? Luton's on 20, 26, 24 and 16.
yeah, but you say that. Remember the deduction as well.
So they would have been on what? 33?
Yeah,
That's still not great. It's still under 40
But
points.
it's only their second season back up.
Yeah, after how many
Forest.
years? Yeah. After how many years?
Yeah.
How long were they at the Prem for? 20
Like,
years?
they're where they should be, to be honest. Like, this is...
Nah. Where did they come last season? Where did they come last season?
17th.
Did they?
16th, 17th.
Yeah, this is their...
I feel like they've done better last season.
Let me see. I'll quickly check. Look, watch. Yeah, they came 16th. 38 points.
38 points.
Yeah, Everton finished below them. Then Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton went down.
So they're
Teams
gonna
that
be-
shouldn't have been going down. Leicester shouldn't have been going down, definitely. That was a
So they're on
shambles.
34 now. 34 now, including the points.
Yeah,
So roughly the same. Roughly, if they get a win, like one more win.
yeah, 37.
Mm.
You know,
That's
they
good
spent all
run.
the money fine. They've changed manager. So you just stick it out a couple of years, get your next TV money. I mean, whether they've got an owner and a structure that allows them to build is another question. It's a bit tumultuous behind the scenes. Employing ex-refs as refereeing consultants. I don't know
He
what he's supposed to
resigned.
do
He's
there.
left, didn't he?
Has he left?
Yeah, he resigned.
That was
Good
silly
lads.
anyway.
He said
yeah.
he was more of a hindrance than a help. So
Yeah.
it was
it was
a bad
he-
appointment.
I'm sure he wasn't out of pocket when he left either.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, the table. We always say the table doesn't lie, right? So they've done what they need to do, taking points off a team around them. Obviously, Sheff United were already down, but they were on it. Brereton Diaz, scoring another goal. So yeah, I think by this weekend we'll have pretty much have everything. I think Burnley get confirmed with Forest's points deduction decision, and then who have Luton got this weekend? Let's see. Luton have got
West Ham away.
Well, the way West Ham are playing right now, Luton might be able to cling on. Might be able to be a bit of a great escape.
Yeah.
West Ham should be beating them, surely. And then Forest, we've got Chelsea at home. Chelsea are kind of motoring now. Not the best game. And then Burnley have got
Tottenham.
Never know what will happen there.
nah, it's at
Tottenham away, yeah.
It's at the
lane.
Yes. Okay, cool. And then fight for the top 4. I think we touched on it briefly. Brighton got a last-minute winner against Villa. I say last-minute, a late winner. So Pedro, I think, scored a penalty. Yeah, 87th.
No,
minute.
Yeah, he missed the
it
pen.
and then scored the rebound.
Scored a rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, Brighton form hasn't been great of late, but Villa, I don't know what's going on.
I think they had a hangover from Thursday.
This
Like,
is
it was
Unai
they got-
Emery A1.
Yeah, it's true.
Always.
Nah, I think you're not being
always.
harsh on the kid, man.
This is him.
Nah.
20 Prem wins.
Good.
Remember,
even
look who he's
This
managing
is it.
Aston Villa to a Champions League place in his first full
And the
season.
spend isn't crazy.
Yeah, no, do you know
Like you
That's
can't.
a good
like
achievement.
you can say, but he's won trophy.
It's
Like
a
he's
good
he's a trophy
achievement.
winner. Like
The
he just had a
table-
bad 18 months at Arsenal. You
what?
can't. You can't keep beating him around the head with that.
All
stick.
right, what about Thursday? That was poor.
Yeah, it's first leg though.
It's a bad
He's
result.
got to win a tie. What is it, 3-1? They lost 3-1?
4-2.
4-2
4-2.
at home.
And
that was
that was
Thursday.
only because Louise missed a penalty. It could have been 4-3. You go over there with something
Coulda,
in.
woulda, shoulda.
No way goes. He might go over there and win 2-0.
You think they're going to win there? You think
They
they're
might.
going to
Listen,
No, they're the best
there's
team
one
left
thing
in the tournament.
Yeah, but there's one thing Emery knows how to do, yeah? It's cup competitions. He will go there, park up the bus.
I'll be
differently.
very impressed if they come back from that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'll
will
be
be.
very
Like it's
impressed.
a
And that
bit
what
of
you
a
just
mountain.
said, you just said they're the best team left in the competition, so you shouldn't be losing 4-2 at home.
Who's the best team left in the competition?
He said
Villa?
Aston Villa, and I agree. I agree, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They should be winning it. So
Yeah,
you shouldn't
they-
be.
yeah.
So you shouldn't be losing 4-2 at home.
But even from a Prem standpoint, come on, he's won 20 games, right? Outside of Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, record's not a joke, bro. Absolutely not a joke.
Yeah,
You know?
I think he don't. Like for Villa, no one would have thought Villa would have got top 4 this season.
No, but he's
No one.
taken advantage of the Man Uniteds, the Chelseas, and all that. We've been absolutely crap. So
That's not.
I You have
But
to
you
commend
should-
him for that.
yeah,
you
but
have
you
to
still
commend
gotta
him.
say- but
Yeah,
you have
you have
to
to
take
commend. Yeah,
advantage,
you have to
innit?
commend.
Like,
Because
yeah.
other teams haven't taken advantage. I.e., the Tottenhams and that they could have went fourth. So we got to give
I
him.
was
Got to give him
thinking, like-
some credit.
I was thinking his defense and that, but to be fair, again, if you take it out of the three hitters at the top, he's not out of Canada. He's the defense. What they've conceded, he's scored just as many goals as everybody else apart from Newcastle. So he like it's not like the sometimes not like the table lies, but you can see how someone maybe is drawn that. No, he across a lot of parameters, they are literally the fourth best team.
Yeah,
Literally.
you're right. 20 wins, you can't knock that.
Man.
You
Not
can't
at
knock
all.
that.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. So yeah.
Cut him some
No,
slack.
no,
Just whimper along the line. And look, we need to have that Emery conversation because again, there's certain things he didn't get that he wanted. He didn't want Pepe. He didn't, there's certain things that could he have done a bit better here and there? Yeah, he could have. But he didn't get the time and faith that Arteta's got because let's be honest, there are periods where Arteta was going through and he had a worse record than Emery, right?
Yeah.
But they stuck with him and he didn't get certain things he wanted. So he's almost on the thing of now I'm getting players here and there that I want. You can see what I'm on. Now, tactically, is he limited or is he has he got what it takes to now play in the Champions League and against Pep and all the stuff Arteta and Klopp or whoever else wants to do? That's another question.
Yeah.
But top four in the Prem right now on their budget, not to be sniffed at. I don't think.
I think this summer will be very important for them because going into Champions League with that squad, so I think they do need some investment.
And if you even look at their squad, there's no world beaters in their team. Like, how many players from Aston Villa realistically would start? And I'm not saying take them and be a squad player. How many Villa players would start at Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool? Like,
Moreno might start left back. Maybe.
No, but if Timber's fit and playing, you don't take him. Like, I know we haven't seen Timber.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I think with the tools that he's got, I think he's done
Watkins up
exceptionally
front?
well. Huh?
Watkins up front.
Yeah, I think Watkins. Yeah. For you guys,
He'd probably start for
Yeah.
I'll take him.
The goalie would start for us as well.
Who? Martinez?
Yeah, Martinez will start. Good.
Yeah, so I think for the tools he's got, he done exceptionally well, and
They've got some good players. I like McGinn, Diaby, Bailey's had a good season.
yeah, there's certain players that work with certain squads and managers in it. I think that's
Yeah.
just one of them.
Yeah. All right, cool. Liverpool, Spurs. I mean, Spurs.
Spurs falling off a cliff.
Mate, Andrew Ball's not doing what he needs to be doing. It's not balling. Liverpool 4, Tottenham 2. Mo Salah with the first. Andrew Robertson with the second. Cody Gakpo.
Yeah,
Good header. And then Javier Let scored the game of the goal, screamer top left. And then I don't know what happened. Spurs let 2 goals in 5 minutes. I mean, Liverpool let 2 goals in 5 minutes.
he made a lot of subs and it kind of
Yeah,
messed up the
messed
rhythm
up,
a little
yeah.
bit. Like, he used all 5 subs today. I don't think he needed to.
It's not your last home game, is it?
No, the final one is against Wolves last game of the season.
Okay.
That'll be emotional,
So-
won't it?
Yeah, I think it will be. And I think if we were in the title race still, I think it would have like bubbled over like immensely. I think now he knows we can't win the league. Today it seemed like they were just like a weight lifted off everyone's shoulders, like just go out and play in it. And Tottenham
And
Tottenham
you was
didn't,
playing the right opposition.
yeah, like Tottenham didn't make it exactly hard for us.
So was it? Has it almost been an unwanted but a calming factor?
Oh
Because,
yeah,
like you
100%.
said, if the title's on the line, Klopp's leave his last game.
Yeah,
certain
I think if
people-
you go to that last game of the season with something on the line, it's like it would just bubble over.
But
a
that's
little
what
bit
you
too
want,
much.
though. That's what you're in the
Yeah,
game for.
yeah,
It depends.
You're
I
not in
know,
the
but
game
like-
for this
No, but I
playing
mean, like,
Tottenham
if-
and
if-
That's what I said, it was an
nothing
unwanted-
on the game. Yeah,
That's what I said. It was
like if-
unwanted calming
Yeah.
influence.
Yeah, and like I think people just got to accept the changes coming in it. Like, I think Klopp's done wonderfully well. Like, I wouldn't have a bad word said against him, but
Agreed.
people just need to accept like that time is up and you've got to move on in it. Like, that's there's no point
This is
dwelling.
gonna be so
what's your feelings on Arnie?
I know nothing about him, so like
0.
like I know nothing about him. So for me, he's coming in with a clean slate, and he's been left a good squad. Like, what's that about?
No, you said good. I thought you were going to say great. So, okay.
He's been left a good squad. So he'll have to come in, address what's there. Because obviously he'll want to do... My only concern I have is the power that Edwards and Hughes are going to have. So we know that Edwards and Klopp didn't particularly see eye to eye, even though they worked well with certain transfers, etc. We know they didn't particularly see eye to eye, and I think that's why Edwards left when he did. So it might be a case of, like with Emery at Arsenal, where these are the players that we're getting in for you. Do what you can with those players.
Okay. Are you comfortable with that dynamic, with the way that the club buys the players? Because famously, it was the Mo Salah transfer. Klopp didn't want Salah, but then Edwards got him. So do you think that's a good way for the club to be run, that the club essentially buys the players rather than the manager?
Don't Liverpool have a committee though? So Klopp was part of that committee. So I know what you mean. In some other clubs, that is it. Yeah. I think at Liverpool, wasn't it?
There was
a mixture of things.
So there was like a discussion about who's coming in, and
then there's a vote.
But someone's got to have the final decision.
I think it's an odd number or something. So when the vote goes in, that vote's what wins.
Okay. So I don't know if that committee's gonna stay, but what I do know is that Slot's coming in as head coach, not as a manager. So that will kind of allude to the Edwards and Hughes being kind of the background guys who are looking at the players to come in, and then Slot essentially coaching them as a head coach.
I think subconsciously, has Ten Hag giving you a little bit of a one eye, like another one from the Dutch league?
Not really. Like, we're not gonna tar everyone with the same brush in it. Like, everyone that comes over from Holland is gonna be like.
To be fair, I don't think no one's done well in the Premier League. Like, no Dutch manager.
I was just about to say,
there's been loads. Yeah, there's been loads.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Frank de
Boer lasted 10 minutes.
I mean, he didn't have Zaha for any of those games, and we know that's that team. If he didn't have Zaha,
Louis van Gaal.
Van Gaal won the FA Cup.
Won the FA Cup. What did he? He came top 4, no? Did Van Gaal come top 4?
I don't know. Did Mourinho?
Because he had Ibra in it, didn't he? Win.
Yeah, I can't remember. So for me, like I say, it's a clean slate. Come in and let me see what you can do. I think by December, you know what kind of manager that you've got essentially. And
do you believe he can make Liverpool better next season? Straight away?
I have no idea. I hope he can.
Can you see areas where he can improve instantly in terms of either coaching or personnel?
Yeah. Get a player in for Gakpo.
The Gakpo don't start. Gakpo's a sub, innit?
We need a killer. So, we had this conversation at the start of the season around Núñez and him delivering. I think we've seen this season when, because I said it, as long as Mo's putting up numbers, it doesn't matter what Núñez does. We've seen this season where there's been a period where Salah hasn't been scoring, and then Núñez hasn't been taking his chances, even though he's starting the games regularly. Now we need someone else to put up the numbers if Salah is.
So what? You want another striker?
They need one.
They need one. No, you've got 5.
No, but someone needs to leave.
So who would you sell then? At the front 5.
I think Núñez would have to.
So Núñez.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But he's only been there like what?
This would be 2 years. Like 2 years to apply your trade. Like John said, you can do a certain
and
level,
you lose,
but if you're not cutting it, try.
You lose money on him then.
Oh, 100%. Like we paid 60 million up front for him plus add-ons.
So what if you're selling him what, 30 mil?
40. I'd say 40. Based on his age, and he's played in Champions League.
I don't think they'll do it, but that's what they.
Wouldn't you sell more like, even though I think he's a quality player, Jota? Because he's never available. He never get a full season out of him.
When he's fit, he's a killer.
To that point you just said, who's buying him? And for how much money?
Or sell Gakpo.
No, I like Gakpo. I like Gakpo.
I would.
Yeah, I sold Gakpo more than before I sold Núñez.
And he's Dutch, innit? Like, you're like, brethren, yeah. Amsterdam.
Like, if you're being really ruthless, if Edwards comes back, you're being really ruthless, and you say to me, if you're Edwards, you're going to really be cutthroat. I think that's, you say, thanks, Cody, go out and loan somewhere, play every week, let's see if you sharpen up, become who you think you are, get someone else in, and you see if anyone will bite your hand off for Núñez and just take it forward. But again, it's all down to what Slot wants.
I think from a tactical standpoint, I think he can really improve Liverpool very quickly because the football that Klopp plays, I don't know whether this squad has got to an age now where they can't keep up that heavy metal football for 90 minutes. So I think if you bring in someone who's a bit more tactical now and plays it in a different way, I think that could improve Liverpool straight away.
On that, I don't think it's an age. I just think it's strictly a personnel issue.
Okay, yeah.
Because I've said, when you look at us countering, the counter-attacks are not as fluid as what they were like.
Mane, Firmino.
I knew when them three were breaking, goal.
Yeah.
Now, like we've seen against Arsenal, Man United, we've been 4-5-on-1, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's the personnel.
I can't remember what game it was the other day. Yeah, it was a counter. Salah's on the ball, and the pass he played to Nunes. Oh my gosh, it was so far behind him. It was last week.
Yeah,
it was mad. I don't think I've never seen. I don't know. Salah just didn't seem with it. I think that was after the argument he came on or something. I can't remember. But to your point, in days gone by, that would have been 2-3 passes.
Goal.
Yeah.
And it's either Salah or one of the... Well, he doesn't pass. So it would have been Salah. They don't go. Yeah.
But I'm prepared for a drop-off. I just don't know how big that drop-off is going to be.
I'm going to enjoy this, man.
And can I just mention Harvey Elliott? What a goal. I think that needs to mention.
Really good game today.
And for me, he's an outsider for England. I think he's getting to that level that he's an outsider. Yeah. I think maybe this tournament might be a bit early for him, but I
tell
think
you what,
going forward, I can see him England a bit light in midfield.
I really like him as a player, but he's got to leave Liverpool.
But you never know. He like next season, everyone's got a chance, innit?
Yeah.
He might be one of those players.
Let me rephrase that. He needs to play every week.
Yeah,
This whole thing of I'm at Liverpool and I come in here and there and make it. He's got to play every week, bro. I mean, he's still young. How old is he? 19, 20?
20. And the thing is, like,
he's got to play, man.
But there's a spot there for him.
Yeah, I might mention it.
At Liverpool?
Yeah, like in the midfield. The Liverpool midfield is not set in stone.
Well, yeah, but to Keith's point, new manager, let's see what Arne says.
If you're performing...
If he gets any whiff that that's not the case, bro, you need to go and play.
Yeah,
his mates are doing stuff, bro.
Yeah, he can play for not any Prem team, but he can play for like a Prem team.
Yeah, a good Prem team starting.
Yeah, Fulham.
Based on the England
Brighton, something like that.
They don't want him back, they boo him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's where he came from. Yeah.
On the England point, when he goes and plays for England under 21, he's so far ahead of everyone else. It's just like, he's not that he's wasted, but it's like that gap between England under 21s and the senior team.
And you already know how Gareth runs that.
Yeah, anyway, just, he looks so much better than everyone else at under 21 level.
But what you say about him leaving, it sort of makes me think about Cole Palmer. Look what he's done, making that he's in a similar position.
100%. And now, Cole Palmer's definitely getting Euros.
Like he's leapfrogged him.
Yeah, he's in the squad. So you go and play every week, you go and show what you can do, and then that's that. And I think someone like Harvey Elliott, he would have been better for his time at Liverpool, of course, the coaching, the players he's with, etc. But in this game, you have to go and show it every week because now the quality of the pool of the England players is becoming that country where the top youngsters are getting in the top Prem teams and playing every week. And you remember there was a time when that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So if you're now 19, 20, 21 and you're not playing every week, bro, forget it.
Even maybe someone like him going abroad would be a good move.
Well, if we had a normal England manager who would look at anything, if you want to play for this England team, don't go abroad. Unless you have
your name's Jude, unless your name's Jude,
or Harry Kane.
unless he has absolute, like, he could not get away with not picking Jude. Jude was basically top scorer in the league. But the barrier is so high. Like if you really have real aspirations for play for England, you better stay in the Prem.
Gareth hasn't got them air miles, man. He needs to. He needs to be.
Like, there definitely something a whole conversation about him. All right, just quickly to finish off, Chelsea 5, West Ham 0. I mean, I know they've been on a decent run of form lately, but it's Chelsea team. Yeah. Where did that come from? Well, West Ham were bad, but Chelsea were decent. Cole Palmer again. What's that? 21 goals for the season.
Yeah, Jackson got 2.
Jackson's got 12 goals, 12 Prem goals this season or something.
16.
16.
Oh,
you sure it's not 16 all comps?
16.
Nah. They literally had a convo about him, because people.
I was poo-pooing him. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think he'd get like 10. So
Oh, not 13.
Yeah.
13.
okay.
Well, still though,
15.
Still a lot.
I'll
the way
say.
people talk about him, he's rubbish. He's this and that. Listen,
He is though. Like I don't care.
no, I don't think he's rubbish. I'm sorry. You don't score 13 Prem goals if you're rubbish. You don't. Should he have scored more? Yes. For the chances that his chance conversion stats must be horrific. However, strikers will always tell you need to be there to miss them, right?
Yeah.
And people laugh at that stuff, but that's very true. Secondly, it's the premise. It's not easy. It's not easy to score
Yeah, and
those
he's
goals.
young as well. I am
Bruv.
being harsh, but
How many seasons have Michael Rashford scored 13 Prem goals?
no.
Yeah, right.
But he's a winger though, isn't it? He's a winger.
Yeah, it's true. I got hit with that earlier today. Yeah. Goals and assists for wingers.
Yeah, talk about
right
England.
forwards.
Rashford wouldn't be anywhere near the plane.
But he might get in.
Money in the bank, though.
He might get in. He might get an experience and all of
When
that.
the season's over, we should all do our Euro squad.
Yeah.
And I'm
Definitely.
telling you, Rashford ain't.
When we go into that conversation, I've got a few things saying that.
So-
Say that later on.
So yeah, look, I think Jackson's had a tough ride and he could be better, but sometimes you got to look at what someone has done. And then Conor Gallagher, again, not his biggest fan, but he's the engine. He's getting up and down. He's doing a few goals.
He's taking responsibility as well. He's captain.
Yeah,
He's he's showing leadership in that team as well.
Yeah.
I think Pochettino's doing that foreign manager starter pack, innit? Pick the young English guy and make him captain. See how when Klopp was Hendo already captain when Klopp came, or Klopp made him captain?
Klopp made him captain.
Klopp made him captain, innit?
No, because
He
Gerrard
captain-
had left before Klopp came in.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he kept
so-
him as captain.
yeah, he kept him as captain,
Yeah, so Poch, I see you. Then, by the way, he scored a header, which, he'd been threatening for a bit. And then, Jackson got 2 goals.
Yeah. Madueke's
gifted
played well.
Madueke.
Yeah, I
He's
think,
alright,
I think
man.
he's a good player.
Yeah,
I think he's a good player in there.
Yeah.
He's
He's
another
another
one.
one.
England under 21s. He's same sort of Javier at Carl
Went to
Palmer
Holland,
saying,
played for PSV,
Yeah.
did his thing. No, he's a good player. So that's why, listen, remember I said, he looks so mad at Chelsea, but when you talk about the players individually, you speak to people in the game, they were all players that everyone was like, they've got a bright future.
Yeah.
If they, over time, if they figure it out, that team could be dangerous. And they've cost you relatively a lot less individually.
Have you got to find the right coach who can do that?
And that's where they think Pochettino can do the job. So 5-0 win for Chelsea. They're not quite smoothing it out, but I think the plane crash that it was, people are talking about it a little bit different. Right? The narrative is easing a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And if they get into Europe, or even just finish above Man United, considering
Yeah, the narrative on that will be crazy.
Yeah.
100%.
We know some Man United fans.
Well, look,
who we
they're
can-
only 2 points behind Newcastle, right? So that whole Man United, Chelsea, Newcastle piece, that 6 to 8 is all up for grabs. I think West Ham are done for, really.
Newcastle have got to play Man United as well.
There you go.
Have they?
Yeah.
When's that next game?
No, so Newcastle have got Brighton at home, Man United away.
Last day of the season?
Then Brentford.
Oh, that's the midweek. Okay.
Yeah, the midweek. Then Brentford away last game of the
That's
season.
a big game, that
Man United have got 2 big games.
Chelsea got Brighton away. The Deserby team they turn up, and then they got Bournemouth at home. I wouldn't be surprised if they
Chelsea could nick 6 out of 6.
Yeah. Chelsea could nick 6th, 7th. And if they finish above after all the slack everyone's given them, if they finish 7th or 6th, I think Pochettino can be like, I came in, I had 4,000 players, figured it out. I had my main player injured for most of the season. Do you know what I mean? Nicholas Jackson's first season in the Prem. Give me a full preseason, shipping out some players, ship some players in. Yeah, I don't think you could argue with it.
It might sound a bit mad, but I think at least one of those teams won't want to get in the Conference League. I know you're saying it generates money and you can look at what Villa are doing.
No, I agree with you.
I think at least one of them, and maybe even Man United, would rather you're either in the Europa League or nothing.
I think if
Why?
you're Newcastle,
because you can just have the next season like a free run in it. See how Chelsea have had like a free hit. You look at
how's that
Man
worked
United-
out for them?
No, but
to
they
the
had
point we're
like-
just making, they're
but they-
coming back through.
but they had like all the kind of nuances of like a new manager, like all the players have blooded.
So imagine throwing in those Thursday games to some far place in Europe.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think if Man United don't make it into Europe, Ten Hag's a little bit like, well, even if if he's staying next season, I think he's a bit like, I don't mind that because I get full week to get my team on the training pitch and do what I want to do.
Because I think United could still get 5th. I think they could still catch Tottenham.
Yeah, but they'd have to beat you and Newcastle for that to happen.
Tottenham might not get another point this season, so they don't. They might not have
We said
to.
they got Burnley next, man. Come on.
But they're on the beach, and Burnley's got something to play for, so that's not all.
Yeah,
And
I just say
maybe they need to target. Man United need to target that Newcastle game. Maybe rest players on the weekend and go for that Newcastle game.
I agree. I agree.
Against
with
you.
Keith. I agree. I agree with Keith. I think for Man United, let's be honest, it's not great for the brand. Europa Conference League, the Europa League with them in it was all right. It kind of went on it, and then they won it, whatever. But you know what?
And it's them obscure teams.
Yeah,
like,
bruv. You don't need it. Let the new manager or Ten Hag, if they're crazy enough to keep him, do his thing. They're gonna have.
Isn't that a perfect place for a new manager, not for Ten Hag, but for a new manager to see all these players and everything like that?
I don't think the logistic. Europa League, yes. Europa Conference, no, bro. I don't think the trade-off is worth it. Look at the quality of the teams. Look where you're playing. I don't think it's worth it. Europa League won't be a terrible disaster.
Yeah.
And to your point, they're going to Europa League. They have a decent recruitment somewhere. They have to be one of the favorites that's going to win it. You know, with your Brunos and
So you
whoever
think
else.
Newcastle would win it?
Yeah.
To be fair, whoever gets from the Premier League, whoever gets that that Conference League should win it. I.e. West Ham last year, Villa should win it this year. Whoever get out of them teams, whoever gets there should win it.
I think Newcastle don't want it. If I'm Newcastle Man United, I don't want Conference League. I want Europa, not Conference League. And Chelsea, it might not be the worst thing.
Yeah, I think Chelsea would be good.
Oh,
They've
because
got a big
you've got enough
squad.
players.
Yeah.
That can play and do what they're doing, etc.
You've got loads of players you ain't even seen yet.
Yeah.
The Lavias and stuff like that need to still come back.
Get the fitness up.
Carney's been out most of the season as
So
well.
then when a man asks you who he is in the press conference, you remember, innit?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, interesting Chelsea. Before we leave that Chelsea game, David Moyes, what's going on? Because when I was talking about David Moyes a few weeks ago,
On the beach,
you lot was doing defence lawyer.
They've done what they've needed to do this season.
What's that?
A good, respectable league position, 8th, 9th, and then a good run in Europe.
Bournemouth's 1 point behind them. Like, if they don't back up their ideas, and then Brighton are 2 points, bro, listen, they could finish 11th. They carry on. 2 points difference. It's 3 points down to Wolves in 12th. This game will spin you quickly, you know.
Yeah, I think there's been so much rumblings about his tenureship and who might replace him. I think a little bit too much for someone who's still in the job, if that makes sense.
Nah, man, because you know what saying this when he was winning. When I was saying this 3 weeks ago, that wasn't a factor. Why is it a factor now?
No, because it's ramped up more. Like since that, they've had Amorim has said, "Oh yeah, I've spoken to West Ham." Like he came and said, "Yeah, I shouldn't have really gone over to London and had a chat with them, man."
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Like, he came out and said it. He was like,
Lisbon fan went crazy.
Yeah, he's like,
crazy.
it's come out. He's like, I shouldn't have gone over to London and had the conversation, and I apologise. And then the old Wolves manager, what's his name?
Lopetegui.
Lopetegui. He's had chats with them this week as well. So I know it's come from the West Ham hierarchy.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of sandwiched in between that, you got to be like,
No, well, hold on. I'm not having that. You know why? For 2 reasons. One, your contract's up in X amount of weeks. And two, I saw him with my own eyes and ears say, we'll talk about the end of the season. We don't need to talk about it now. I saw him say that on TV. So what? As a business, as a club, I shouldn't talk to anyone else when you might walk out in 4, 6, 8 weeks. If I was a West Ham fan, I'm saying, you lot aren't serious. You're not planning. Imagine if that was our club.
Yeah.
And even he said we'll talk end of the season.
You don't want to get to the end of the season where it says, "Oh, see you later," and you're left just
so what? June the 30th, he just bop out. We've not talked to anybody.
I think the whole thing just hasn't been handled well, and I think his tenure at West Ham has been what you would expect from David Moyes and a club like West Ham. Like
I think it's been better.
Yeah, I think it's been better. I think it's overachieved.
Yeah, like he got them their first European trophy in either ever or however many years. Got them 100 odd million pound for Rice.
Yeah.
He's leaving them in a fairly decent squad, like centre backs, right back, I think we said, and a striker, short of challenging for that 6th place regularly. I think he's done all right, and he'll get another Premiership job.
Europa League quarterfinal as well, and
played well.
They took Leverkusen right to the last minute of the was the second leg.
But again, it's like the Bournemouth thing again. Investors come in. He wants to take the club to a certain place. I'm not saying David Moyes isn't a good manager. That was never my point. My point is he the guy
For West Ham.
that can... Because the thing is as well, it's the same way some clubs, they'll come out and say, and even Ratcliffe, I think a couple of people said, oh, look at what Arsenal did with Arteta. Bruv, if you bought a West Ham, you're looking at Villa, saying, look, get the right manager, you get the right blocks in the place, you're not going to start knocking on the title, but you can start moving in the right direction.
Yeah, you become a disruptor, innit?
Yeah,
and that's what,
And
exactly.
they've got potential. If you think about it, they're getting 60,000 every week.
Come
They
on, bro.
don't pay nothing for the ground.
Exactly.
They've got spending power with Rice money.
Yeah.
They've got a couple good players there, Paqueta, Bowen.
I think they
So
lose
they-
him in the
there is-
summer.
there
I think now that gambling thing's done,
Yeah.
come and get him in the summer.
But then that's even more money that you're going to have to then
Yeah.
go and
Exactly.
invest.
So actually at that point, if I get the right people in, there's a model that clearly has a higher probability of success in this league, innit? You get a good director of football. You know, that whole model from Europe starting to really work and replicate itself here. Get a decent manager, and then you're in the ring with those guys, right? You're not fighting. They don't want to be fighting the fight they are now. They don't want to be having conversations about permutations that could land them in 12th,
yeah.
right? So that's all I was saying. So regardless, well, clearly they were looking at options in it because people have switched on them and told them out. But
What has Moyes said in regards to it? So it looks like he's going to be going. Is he going to be retiring or is he going to be going looking for
that
another
same
job?
interview I saw, it was where are we now? May. That interview was maybe like, I think it was like March. It was like a midweek TNT game, and he was still talking about, look, he loves the game, he's still on it, blah blah blah. I don't see him retiring.
I think a lot of teams would want him.
Yeah,
Towards
Yeah.
obviously towards the
return to
lower.
Everton.
Nah, I think Daesh is
Yeah.
good. Like if you put the
Nah.
points back onto Daesh, they're 10 points higher up the league, innit? No, even more so. So
I tell you what, do you remember that Everton? Yeah, their fans, obviously their fans, they haven't had it for a while, but they're another one of these clubs that their fans expect a certain type of football. Don't lose to Liverpool, whether it's correct or not. Because look at West Ham fans, they expect stylish football for whatever reason, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Deitch isn't there beginning of next season. So sorry, not this season coming, the season after. I'm telling you.
I think Everton fans don't mind having that kind of football. They've had it
Yeah,
for
bro.
20. They've had it for like 20 years.
and also as well,
Just remember.
I did say Moyes would get another Premiership team, but going back to the stylistic thing, he might be a little bit left behind in terms of what clubs are looking for. So he might even have to take a drop down and bring a team up. If that
He's not
makes-
doing that.
if that
No, I reckon.
Moyes ain't touching
I
I
reckon.
know, but I'm saying like,
No,
if
I
you-
hear you, but I don't see him going championship.
I reckon it'll be a team. I don't think he gets anything at the start of the season. It'll be a team that's underachieving and looking that they might go down, and then they'll bring him in to keep them up. But I don't know, someone like a Nottingham Forest or something like that.
And the reason why I said that about Everton is two things. One, they're up for sale. I think the people that are trying to buy them now, 777,
yeah, it hasn't gone
one of
through
the
yet.
people, one of the people involved, or one of the founders or something, he's just had a fraud case brought against him in America, apparently, or something like that. So actually, that could fizzle out. But they're up for sale, right? Or they're going to get new investment. What happens when you get new investment? They're going to have a new stadium. That stadium,
new voices.
bro,
Yeah.
stadium is progressing nicely. So
It
yeah,
got
I'm not
delayed.
saying-
It got delayed, didn't it? It's meant to be ready for next season.
yeah,
it's got delayed.
but it's still going. So you can imagine it now, not this season, not the 24-25 season, 25-26 season, new investors, new stadium, razzmatazz, blah, blah, blah. I won't be surprised if you get the same kind of message we got from Bournemouth about Gary O'Neill. Thanks, Sean. You kept us up. All the best. We're going in a different direction. We've got this director of football, and who's the new next young manager that can come and do a tick? Maybe it's Gary O'Neill, because here, Gary, this is the first club where you can spend 100 million or whatever it is. Right? So remember I said, I'm gonna be surprised. He's not doing a Burnley there. I'll be very shocked. If they get the new owners and stuff, I don't see him there for 5 years doing his brand of
I see
sore throat
Everton as
football.
that club. I see Everton as the perfect club to do that.
Nah,
To do that,
those new owners don't
We're
want
going to
that.
win every home game 1-0 and it's going to be,
Nah, man, these are
one
the same
shot on
people
target.
that spent 50 million to get Gylfi Sigurdsson and all these players because they thought it was going to change what they did. These are the same owners that went and called Carlo Ancelotti, bro.
Yeah, that's
So,
mad. When you
they-
think that he was there,
Yeah.
that's
Nah,
crazy.
it's bonkers, isn't it?
Crazy.
Amos
Yeah.
Rodriguez
It's
was,
bonkers.
Amos
Crazy.
Rodriguez was playing for Everton, bro.
he was getting, he must have been getting paid.
Come on.
Like,
So when things settle down, everything's cool, and then they're going back there because he was doing all right for them. If Real Madrid didn't cool,
yeah, he was still there.
yeah, they were
Yeah,
winning.
he had a decent season.
Yeah. So yeah, this but anyway, Mr. Moyes, nothing personal in it. I'm just saying. coming getting beat 5-0 like that.
Bounce.
Anyway, so moving on from the Prem, back to England. UEFA have confirmed that the squads for the European Championships have now increased in size. So they're not 23, it's 26 now, which inevitably set out the debate of who should take up extra spaces. And we were having a chat about Eric Dyer. Now, when we was having this debate here, the thing that Keith didn't clock here, that it must have been painful for me to be saying that a perennial Tottenham defender has been doing so well, should get back in England squad. And I was still saying it. He didn't clock that bit. But effectively, my argument was, based on the half a season he's had for Bayern, doing well in Champions League, he stepped into the Bayern team. Whilst our Bayern team didn't pull up, won't do what they normally were doing, the times I saw him play and just generally to people, he played well. That should warrant consideration for the squad. That's what I was saying. Maybe not slot back in the 11, especially the way Southgate, well, not especially, but some of the people that he's persisted with. This guy is playing Champions League. He's been doing well. We've seen it with our own eyes. He did well against Arsenal, the league leaders at the moment, etc. But Keith's argument was, people shouldn't be rewarded for, quote unquote, a purple patch. My thing is, how long is it? When does a purple patch become form? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Over to you.
So, I think with Dyer, I might have been a bit harsh on the whole purple patch thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you take it in its totality of what we pretty much know what Southgate's going to do, who he's going to be picking, I don't see Eric Dyer as a lead centre-back, right? And if, let's say, Stones gets injured and Dyer's in your squad and you've got to play a centre-back pairing of Eric Dyer and Harry Maguire, that fills me with no confidence whatsoever, despite how, quote-unquote, well he's played in the last, 3 to 4 months.
But the thing that example ignores is, you're the one that picked Harry Maguire. You're the one that's giving yourself that choice.
You're saying Stones is injured, but what if Stones is there? You're playing with Stones.
Exactly.
What's wrong with that?
But he hasn't shown it enough over the last, 2-3 seasons? Like, the thing is, like, Eric Dyer wasn't mentioned until this week.
No, and this is the crux of my point, yeah? Why is it 2 or 3 seasons? And this was the point I was making when we were talking about this. Why is it 2 or 3 seasons? This is the problem we sort of have here, right? Is like, in some areas of the pitch, it's one rule. In other areas of the pitch, it's other rule. And the only point I was making is, when you look at other countries who have won things in recent times, the competitions we won, and obviously lost on penalties in Euros, but they pick players who are on form, right? And I'm not to start, you make the squad. Go and look at Italy, go look at the Germans.
Yeah, no, I get that, but more
he doesn't even do that.
It comes up to who are you up against.
Yeah.
That's why it's different rules for different positions, because some positions have a lot more competition than others, and the quality is higher than others.
True.
So when I look at Dyer, I'm looking at our centre-back pool. And apart from Stones, no one else is head and shoulders above anyone else. Great, so that's why...
We've seen what Dyer can do for an England team, innit? And like, there's a reason why he hasn't been there or thereabouts.
Yeah, but the point we're making is that reason isn't particularly rooted or isn't particularly balanced. That's my point. That means Harry Maguire. That means that Harry Maguire shouldn't have been in England team for a year.
Yeah, but we've seen what he can do for England. Like, and I agree. I agree with the whole Maguire.
What he can do for England as well.
But more often than not, he played well for. That's my whole point. Like, he played well for England. 8-9 times out of 10, he will give you a really good game for England. That's why he's there,
agree.
And that's why he's trusted by Southgate. I just don't see the value in bringing Eric Dyer back and potentially blocking a pathway for someone like a Braithwaite or a Tomori, who have shown over a longer period what they can do.
Yeah, but he's playing in big games. He's playing Champions League.
But Tomori's playing Champions League.
No, but
he's a league
not semi-finals, not knockout stages, not semi-finals and stuff.
This time next week, we could be looking at him starting a Champions League final.
I get it. I totally understand.
A path that he has played a big part in, right? And he's already shown that he's not interested in picking Tomori. So he's not blocking Tomori's path. Gareth has blocked that path.
Yeah, I guess other players.
So I'm not even saying
Ahead
it's a
of-
star, etc. Again, I'm not Eric Dyer's biggest fan.
Yeah,
but
I know that. I understand the point being made. Like, someone's playing really well in a position that we're particularly weak in.
Yeah.
Why not be in the squad? The
Or
squad's
at
going
least-
to 26 now. It kind of makes sense. It would kind of make sense.
And the
to
thing
me.
is, my overall point was, if you are doing that as a policy as you go along, when it's now time to pick the Euro squad, you're not doing any hero picks. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people have been given a fair chance. You can see what they do, etc., etc. So there's probably an England squad or two before that. You should have probably got a look in because it's like, actually, you're showing decent form, etc. You know, and even Sancho. I brought up Sancho because even if Sancho was doing that for 6-7 months, if he's not getting picked, we've seen that. We've just seen that's how Southgate moves. Why when Sterling was playing well, okay. We know what Sterling can do for England. For many a time, he was one of the most reliable England players, putting up numbers in tournaments.
Yeah, arguably our best player in the last 2 tournaments.
Right. Yes, the whole Chelsea didn't start well, but he had his form during the season. He wasn't getting picked back in the squad. Why? So that's what I'm saying. The way Southgate, I think the way Southgate runs the squad,
No consistency.
I don't think it helps with the probability of success. So if he leaves that job without winning a tournament, that is going to be something that's leveled against him massively. So yes, on paper, he's the most successful England manager, I think, since the World Cup winning semi-final or final, etc. But if you look at all the teams that have won stuff in his time, they don't run and pick their squads the way he does. Mancini was going through it, bruv. I remember them talking about the time.
He used bare players.
Yeah, because he wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah, I understand it, and I understand why Dyer's name has been thrown out there. Maybe I'm just kind of being a bit too critical on him and kind of what he's done in the past. But yeah, if it's going to 26 players, like, be in the squad.
No,
Can I
just
just touch on that point? I actually think that's a nonsense that it's actually going to 26 players.
agree.
There's no way you need 26 players for 7 games. Absolutely no way. It's silly. All you're gonna have is more players just sitting down doing nothing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have you could win the tournament. 7 of your players have not even touched pitch. 8 of your players not even touched the pitch. It's silly. They brought it in when it was COVID.
Yeah.
And that made sense because you could have 5-6 players go down with COVID. So they took it back because COVID is not around anymore.
All the nations lobbied
And
for
then
it,
now,
didn't
all the nations said, oh, well, we liked having them extra players. Let's just have them
You know
now.
what it is? It's the
just
injury
silly.
thing. It's the injury thing.
Injuries.
Yeah, I think it's the injury thing. That's what I think. Because we've been hearing a lot of narrative around the fallout from the World Cup, and that was a long season, and we're seeing more and more injuries this year. I mean, they were lobbied by, apparently it was coaches and players that wanted it. I think it's about having a deeper pool of players there, and they're gonna argue, it's just my opinion, I've not seen anything, around the whole injury, the amount of minutes players are playing, etc., etc. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's 7
If
games.
I was a coach,
Yeah.
I'd want as many players as I can have there.
Yeah, I get why the coaches and
Build
managers-
the atmosphere, blah, blah, blah. But you're right, if you
does.
don't do it right, you might end up having too many people there who aren't playing.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
Because matchday squad,
Can
players,
you
what,
can
still
you name
15?
them? Can you name them all
No,
on
16.
the bench? Because in tournaments you could name 11 on the bench.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
you
could,
can name 11?
yeah, you could. You used to be able to name 11. So so you had 23 in the squad,
Yeah.
and every single player was. I think it's only maybe one player that you had to take out the squad.
Yeah.
So everyone else could
I
be
don't
on
think
the
everyone will be- I
bench.
don't think everyone will be on the bench.
I think it was 11 on the bench. There was only one player that didn't get
So
changed.
now 4 players won't play. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Not even getting changed. You're not even- what's the point in being a tournament? You're not even
And
getting
some
changed.
teams are only going to play 3 games, innit? Like,
And you're sitting in the stands in your suit.
Yeah. But
doesn't
as
make
a coach or
sense.
player, you'll never say no to that, right? You'll go. I'm in the squad. Trigger stuff in
Yeah,
contracts.
you'll go.
It's true though.
Yeah,
That's how you look at it, right?
Yeah, you
There's some
will
people
go-
like,
you
I want to
will
be in that
go.
squad.
But-
And I think all that happens is he's got less of his binary choices to make it. So you talk about Marcus Rashford. Now he's got fixture players. Players like him who, maybe form or whatever, but he trusts them. He can take that player and
Yeah.
take the person that maybe is in form.
yeah,
Yeah,
extra
the
player.
Anthony Gordons of this world, etc., who right now in the game for me are more effective.
Yeah.
you know? So it's going to be interesting to see how he fills up those spaces.
Because I think there's going to be at least one pressure pick for Southgate where the media are like, this player.
Who do you think is going to
Do you
be?
think? I don't
I
think.
think it might be
that would
Kobe. I
normally
think it
was
might be
done.
Kobe. No, I think it might be
Oh.
because remember he done it with Grealish.
Yeah.
He done it with Madison.
Yeah.
Like they've been pressured. They're not players that he wanted to pick.
Mm.
They've been like, you can't ignore him now. You can't
I
ignore.
feel like it's gone a bit quiet on him, though.
Well, listen, I was going to say, a few players have made his life easy. Tony's not been firing. That's made it
he
easy.
hasn't scored in 10 games. That's mad.
Madison is...
Brother.
So,
Since that injury.
actually, a few people, even the whole Kobe Manu thing is quieting down a little bit. I think for once, he's not going to have that much, as long as he doesn't do any glaring, like Anthony Gordon, people like that, no glaring, anything glaring. I think he's all right. I can't think of anyone that people are clamoring for.
That
would
have started already. You could say maybe a Cole Palmer that people might look
Palmer
at.
didn't play. He called him up, but he didn't play.
He was injured both games.
Yeah. So I think they're going to be like Palmer, and I think there'll be a pressure to start Palmer as well.
Mate,
start him where?
Yeah, but nah.
Just on the pitch, innit?
No,
but the problem is the people that...
I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying there's going to be a media pressure.
No, but the reason why I don't think the media pressure is going to be that high because the people he would replace have had great seasons. Saka, Arsenal, Foden at Man United, at Man City.
Well, they'll say play him left. Because there's no one on the left.
No, but
he doesn't play there.
Foden's going to play there. Someone's going to play there.
He doesn't play there.
Yeah.
But if you play Foden on the left, why couldn't you... Oh, no. But you can't play Jude as a 10 for England. Not that you can't.
Yes, you
Why not? That's his best position.
Best position for Real Madrid.
And England.
He did it for England. He was on stuff.
The reason why he plays 10 for Real Madrid is because he's got two better centre-backs behind him
and Cruz and Tchouameni are there. Yeah.
No, it's because they ain't got striker, so he has to play up there.
No, but the other reason as well is because Tchouameni's there and...
You really think Ancelotti brought Jude to play 10?
No, he didn't still.
But he stumbled on that and he's
No. He did stumble on it. He stumbled on it. One of the reasons they bought Jude was because he could play a couple of positions in midfield. Let's not do that. But I think, also, these permutations you're playing, Gareth doesn't do that. He doesn't take them risks, bro. He's not, that's what I'm saying. We're not talking about
that Gareth, man. You don't give Gareth no credit.
Bro, if it was like someone, not mad, but someone like Mancini or something, you might see a team sheet and Saka's on the left and this man's on the right to fit him in. Gareth Southgate's not doing that. He might play Foden on the left, right? But he's not doing any Jenga to get Cole Palmer in. So I don't even know if he's going to fit Foden, Saka and Kane in. I don't even know if he's going to do that.
Nor should he for Cole Palmer. Have no caps or nothing. You're not going to...
You should definitely take him.
You're not going to shoe him into the team.
No, he should definitely take him. He should definitely give him a chance to make an impression like he did with Saka, etc.
I might get shot down a bit, but I don't... For as good as Palmer's been, I don't think he's been as influential in many games as people think he has been.
I think that's fair.
No, but that last bit is dubious, as people think he has been. That's subjective. Because
but people are like, Palmer's had a great season.
He has.
If numbers wise, phenomenal season. But if I said to you, tell me 3 Palmer games where he's been outstanding, I think a lot of people struggle.
No, they'll struggle because they don't watch the games or they don't.
But this is my point. Like,
no, I think.
I think.
Don't get me wrong. Depending on what statement you're trying to make here, yes, numbers only don't help. But for a young player to have their first season in the Premier League and to effectively be in the running, up until 2 games to go, be in the running for the Golden Boot, and you're not a striker, is outstanding.
Yeah,
in a dysfunctional...
There's a lot of penalty tax as well, penalty tax.
Yeah, but you still got to take those penalties. Some of them have been pressure penalties as well.
No, but that's my point though, like, and I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Harry Kane took a lot of penalties.
I'm not criticizing.
I know you're not.
This is for the listeners, not you.
Yeah.
This is for the listeners. I don't know that clear. I'm just saying, like, there are not many Chelsea games I've watched where I've been like, wow. I think it's been a combination of like team play, etc. I don't think he's had many standout games.
Well, that's the interesting thing. Do you know why I rate him and I think he's good? Because at his age, he might not have had too many wow games, but he does everything consistently at a good level. That's what I like about him, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
He's effect on the game. He's always looking forward. He's always trying to do the right things. He's always in the right position. So he might not, he might not do hat tricks here but
this is a media criticism. This is like people saying, "Oh, Cole Palmer XYZ." Like, yeah, he had a really good season, but if you strip it back a little bit, he's not giving you 10 out of 10s week in, week out. Like,
no one is.
No, but I'm saying people are making out that's how good he's been.
No, but I think it's relative to. So I think the reason why they're making it that because again, it's his very few players have their first team season in the Prem and play at the level he's been playing every week in a team that quite frankly has been super dysfunctional and not been at the level.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's one of these ones where they try to throw at Phil Foden. Anyone would be good in that team. Well, you got to get in the team first. So he hasn't even had that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why everyone's doing the superlatives with him, because a lot of young players and even experienced players
don't do what he's doing.
Especially that team thing drags them down. So listen, I think he deserves all the praise he's been getting, and even just the way he's gone about it. You know, even the whole penalty thing, he's not shy. No, I've got this.
Yeah,
I'm good in. Yeah, I'll take it.
That man try to take it off of him.
Yeah.
He's like, move, bro.
And all of that's important. We've seen young players where stuff like that can, break them a little bit, whatever. So look, I think he should go, and all I would hope is that he gets the minutes to do that stuff and be effective. All this credit in the bank thing should only go so far. Grealish has not had a great season, but he'll get way more minutes than Palmer. Way more.
I'm not even sure Grealish should
I think
go.
the two
I'm not even sure
friendlies-
Grealish should go.
But he's going. We know he's 100% going.
Yeah. The two friendlies and a criticism of Southgate. He's called players up for friendly games and hasn't played them. There's two friendlies before the tournament. He needs to, I think we're playing Iceland at Wembley, someone at Newcastle.
It's Bosnia.
Bosnia, yeah. 45 minutes, just rotate, man. You know, he'll play Kane 90 minutes in the friendly. Kane don't need to play. I know Kane wants the goal.
Yeah.
You don't need to play Kane. You know what you're getting with Kane. You don't need to play Saka. You know what you're getting with Saka. You don't need to play Jude. These fringe, man, this is where you need to play them and let them prove what they can do.
Play a
to you.
combination of it and understand what you could or couldn't do. But look, I'm going to save the real big Gareth chat for after the tournament.
Yeah.
And see whether he leaves or not. Because, again, I would argue, even that final against Italy, he should never have got that far. If he had better game management and was a little bit more he wouldn't have got that far. He shouldn't have got to the pens.
Not at all.
So he lost control of that game. But anyway, let's see what he does with the extra 3 players. I want to quickly touch on VAR, because I know we talked about it earlier. I've heard, who is it? I think it's Gary Lineker say it a couple of times. I thought about this. It's not a worse idea. He's talked about having a bit, like in other sports like tennis and cricket, where each side has a limited amount of calls.
Like a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's saying look,
Like
let the ref referee the
NBA and stuff like that.
yeah. He's like, look, let the referee the game. Because they say they don't re-referee the game. Unfortunately, sometimes I think referees are saying, you know what, I'll just wait for VAR.
So you mean if a challenge happens in the box, referee doesn't give it,
Yeah.
you can, within 5 seconds, you get to be like,
And you've
I
only
want
got
you to
3
review
a
that.
game.
It's hard to...
I agree.
How would you... Because if that happens and the other team starts a counter-attack, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You just throw my flag on the thing and say, yeah, look at that.
No, but that's why the time limit's important. Because
Yeah,
it's a bit like that now. We've seen stuff, man's at the other end of the pitch,
Yeah.
And they
bring
stop
it back, and I'm like, he was about to cross the ball in. What's going on there? So at first I thought, what are you talking about? Then I thought about it, and I thought, you know what? It could be a decent balance. If you waste your free, it almost becomes a little bit of a skill in itself. The ref knows, outside of these challenges, I'm reffing the game old school. I'm literally reffing the game.
So there's no VAR. It's only if you throw your flag.
Yeah, VAR is only in use
if you challenge.
Now, I'm also going to assume that we've got the semi-automatic offside thing, which I think has worked really well.
The equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you use it, and I've seen this in other sports, you use it in the 80th minute. And it's your third one. And something mad happens in the 88th minute.
You've got no challenges.
Yeah.
But I think you'd only have a 5-second window, because if you stretch it to 10 seconds, you can score from 10 box to box.
Even
in 10
5
seconds.
seconds might be stretching.
So if something happens, you've got
Like a
5
golden
seconds.
buzzer,
That's really
You gotta
hard,
press the
though,
buzzer,
innit?
innit?
No, bruv, it has to be.
Because a lot of them other sports, they stop. So it's easier to NFL, NBA, when they throw their flags, it's because the players stopped. But with football, the players doesn't stop.
Because you can just go up and down the court so quickly. But I think I don't know the machinations of it, but I just like the idea of the using it is almost up to the person who feels aggrieved, right? You're limited in how you can use it, so you've got to make some decisions. Whether it's 3, whether it's 5 or whatever, I don't know. And could it be worse than what we've got now? On the face of it, and just talking about it for
But they can still get it wrong, innit?
No, they can. I guess the point is, and I think there's some things are time pressure, this pressure, da. If the ref gives it or doesn't give it, you moan about it, you leave it, but you didn't use your challenge for it, did you? So clearly wasn't that important.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
They use your challenge, and then when they use a challenge, there's none of this. Every time the ref goes to the screen. Ref goes to the screen and looks for himself. VAR will play it back for him. blah, 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 etc., etc. And then that's it.
I wouldn't mind that. But I'd only want, I think, one challenge. Only one challenge.
One challenge for 90 minutes?
Yeah, one challenge.
Come on, man.
I think one challenge.
One.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Bruv, it's got to be 3, bruv.
I think one.
Or 2.5.
One challenge.
2.5 could work,
2.5.
innit?
Yeah, 2.5 could work.
2.5 could work.
No, that's too much.
And the man's got the watch on. I can just press it. Challenge.
One challenge.
Boom. I don't know. How about, like, what we got now isn't optimal, right? There's other things. All right. Before we run out of time, just quick touch on the championship. Leicester are back.
First time bounce back as champions. Vardy's still playing, for those of you that didn't know. But their coach, I think it's his first managerial job there, coach, isn't Yeah,
he?
he's the Man City assistant.
Yeah, Man City assistant. They've been playing good football by all accounts. I'm not going to pretend like I've been watching them. I've seen a few games here and there.
Yeah.
So another young
to be
coach.
fair, they should have been confirmed promoted
Yeah,
and champions
a
maybe
while
like
ago.
3 months ago. They were so far ahead, they kind of took their foot off the gas.
But the championship's not easy, man.
but-
40-something games, bro. Championship
Yeah.
is not easy.
It's a great league.
I wouldn't go that far. And then Ipswich, they're back, man.
Big up the Tractor Boys.
Back at the Tractor Boys. Again, so the first thing about Leicester's another young manager in the Prem. Ipswich manager. He's ex-Man United coaching staff.
Yeah. What, 34?
No, it's 37, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
36,
Yeah,
37.
young.
If you ever saw Man United's bench and thought you saw Phil Neville, but it wasn't him, it's that guy. Right? He's done back-to-back promotions, got them up from League One, now in up from the Championship. It was a tight one. Sometimes it was Leeds, then it was Ipswich, then it was... But yeah, they're back. And if I remember correctly, last time they were in the Prem, didn't they come in the Prem, qualify for Europe, and then the season they had Europe, get relegated?
Yeah.
Didn't they do something crazy like that?
Yeah.
That was Titus Bramble's days, no?
Yeah.
Darren Bent.
Yeah, yeah. And then they all made their big moves from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, another 2, and then now it's playoff time. Let's see who.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Let's see.
surprised if they stay up next year.
Who?
Ipswich.
Really?
They play really, really good.
Yeah, we said
football.
this about Burnley.
No
Really?
way.
We said
No,
this.
no.
I'm not staying up.
No, but we said this about Burnley. What's the difference?
I never said this about Burnley,
Oh, okay, fair.
but
It is similar to Burnley.
Yeah, but everyone said
and
this
you got to
about-
remember,
they might stay up.
Burnley absolutely ripped that championship apart. They won that by.
But to be fair, what I would
miles.
say, one of their main goal scorers was on loan, and he gone. Southampton said, "Come back, we need you." They took him
But
back.
then a couple of Ipswich players were on loan.
Yeah.
Hutchison has been doing really good for them.
Yeah.
What's happened with him? They get
I-
a
I'm saying
season,
I
I wouldn't be surprised if they stay up
Yeah.
next
Okay.
season.
I would.
Okay.
I remember what I said. It.
And just quickly, who's your tip for the playoffs? If we're
Hey, none of the teams are in form. I was having a
no,
conversation.
I
None
don't know
of the teams
what's
are in
going on
form.
with.
Like,
I don't know what's going on with Southampton.
Yes.
But then they beat Leeds the other day. Yeah,
Last game of the
crazy.
season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's going to be potluck. Like it should be Leeds,
I think
Could Leeds have
I think
played the back?
Southampton.
I'll be honest. I don't want any of them teams coming up.
and even West Brom are like just there in it.
You don't want West Brom. West Brom's just a regional yo-yo club. I want Norwich to do it,
Yeah.
but I think it'll be Southampton.
No, but every
I'd
time
rather
Norwich
Southampton
come up, Norwich gets slapped about. Like
Yeah, but it'd be fun. Norwich and Ipswich being up
Yeah,
together.
like,
I'd
It'd
rather
be fun.
Southampton. Let
It
Leeds
would-
stay there, man.
it would be good.
Let Leeds
Just
stay
gonna have a word as well. Birmingham City get relegated after that whole Wayne Rooney thing.
there. Boy,
It's
what you blaming
really-
Rooney?
it's
I'm
really-
Rooney.
No,
I'm
but
Rooney. I'm
the
blaming.
owners.
but I'm
And
saying
new owners.
The
Like-
owners.
like you were saying,
The owners.
They wanted to come in. They had Tom Brady
Yeah.
parading
If
around.
I was Wayne Rooney, I'm saying you would not go relegated if you kept me. That's what
We
I'm
would have
saying.
got relegated if we didn't bring you. If we didn't
Nah,
bring you in
but
the first
championship
place.
is so up and down. You can't say that. Like, obviously, the guy was 6th when they fired him, but
Yeah, so him,
we've seen worse.
Eustace, who was the manager when
Mm.
they were 6,
Mm.
he kept Blackburn up on the
Yeah.
last day of the season.
Yeah, that's what basically there was 4 teams that could have went down and every single one of them won. And then Blackburn was the last
Yeah.
ones to get. They got 2
But-
goals in the last 15, 20 minutes.
Birmingham in League One is nuts.
It's not that surprising, to be honest. Not
But-
that surprising.
But just talk about like legacy wise,
Yeah,
like just even like Southampton went to League One,
Yeah.
Ipswich were in League One.
Leeds did it.
Yeah, like all these ex-Prem teams have like just fall off to the wayside, and it like if you're out, it takes a long time to get back
but
up.
if you look at it, apart from a handful, like there's maybe 5 or 6 teams, everyone's gone through that cycle. I think Arsenal, I think even Man United have been relegated before. To
No, but I mean, I'm talking about like the Prem
era.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
But there must be only, I'll have a look, but there must be only less than, must be like 7 ever present Prem teams. Because West Ham have been
I
relegated
think
in
it's
the Premier
8.
era.
I think it's 8.
So
No, is there 6? Yeah.
Man United,
Arsenal,
Arsenal, Liverpool,
Liverpool, Tottenham,
yeah,
Chelsea,
yeah.
and Everton.
Everton.
Everton's not been down.
Everton.
That's it.
That's it. 6. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's been through that cycle.
That is mad.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, Villa have gone down and came back. Yeah, because they came back up with Grealish. Yeah. So.
When I look at League One now, there's still a few teams there that have been in the
Newcastle got
Premiership.
relegated. West Ham got relegated. Fulham got relegated. Palace.
That's what I'm saying. How long have Fulham been back?
The big,
Fulham haven't even been back that long, have they? 4 years?
Basically, it's just the big 6 and Everton. Those are the 7. It's just the big 6 and Everton.
When you look at some of the teams, they're
like
perennial. Palace have probably been back 7 or 8 years on the bounce fire.
Yeah.
But some of them haven't been back that long. We just get used to them being
Yeah,
around.
you just think they're
Brentford.
them teams.
This is only Brentford's 3rd or 4th season in a row. I think
you got to think Everton. They've been so close so many times. I think it's about 2-3 times they stayed up on the last day. But it's just a big 6 and Everton.
And then lastly, Bromley. Bromley are now in the Football League.
Yeah.
100 plus years of existence. I think it's 110 years or something. So their first ever foray into the Football League. Big congratulations to Miles Weston, friend of the pod. If you've not checked out that episode, please go and do so. His football journey has been a serious one. So yeah, big congrats to him. I think he scored 2 in the semis, didn't he?
Yeah, scored a worldie as well. Semi-final.
Brilliant goal.
And started the final. Came off, so he didn't end up taking the penalty. So it was Solihull Motors, I think they're called.
Moors.
So Solihull Moors.
And they took 15,000 fans there.
Bruv, Wembley was jumping. But it was 2-2 after normal time, and then Bromley won it 4-3 on penalties. I must say, the first few penalties were looking good. I was thinking, you lot might need to stay in the league you're in. So.
No, but it's Wembley.
I know.
Come on,
It's pressure,
come on,
isn't
yeah,
it?
you're a non-league player.
No, but
Go on, man.
you know what's mad about
it's
it?
different.
It just flipped on his head, right?
Yeah.
So then both teams missed 3 so the first 4 penalties between both teams, 3 of them were missed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And then after that, everyone stuck their penalty nicely. Everybody. So it was just so yin and yang. But yeah, congrats to Bromley. Gonna have to go down there next season.
We'll definitely have to do a game. We'll have to do a game down there next season.
Get some
To be
football
fair,
leagues.
I went to a game. I saw them play this season, actually. I went to one of their games. Yeah, we played Dagenham Medbridge. Good
Nice.
game. Good
Nice.
game.
And another reason, apart from Miles' involvement, again, congratulations, was about this whole thing because they got a 3G pitch or 4G, whatever it is these days. And one of the rules of Football League, you must have a grass pitch. So they need to spend the money, rip up that pitch, their grass pitch, etc. There was a little bit of debate amongst the boys earlier, but I'm not mad at it, man. It's the top level of the game. It's played on grass, but get a grass pitch.
Yeah,
I don't want to see anyone.
I don't agree with it.
What?
Because they've got to spend money to get a grass pitch, and now they're going to lose money because they got a grass pitch. They're not be able to rent out their pitch from a community perspective. Yeah, so then they're going to lose even more money.
I understand that.
I've seen teams in Champions League with a artificial pitch
Where?
in countries.
Right.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, if that league became one of the top leagues in Europe, everyone would have to play on grass. I guarantee you. It's the best surface for the game to be played on. You're now entering the top 4 levels of the game in this country. And possibly across the football in Europe, right? So, bruv, get a grass pitch.
Yeah,
no,
I understand.
I understand why they don't have one. This is their first foray into it. But yeah, bro, and we all know, come on, man. We all know playing on artificial pitches is not, it doesn't compare to grass for various reasons. We all know. We've all done it. It's not the same. It's not the same.
It's completely different.
Get a decent groundsman and it's all right. And the TV money they're going to be getting compared to...
argue,
Would you give them like a year's grace or something like that rather than straight away?
Wait, Luton didn't get no grace.
They could get relegated and back down to National League.
True.
But then they got the grass.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a shame though, because as Dad mentioned, like local to where we are, a lot of Saturday, Sunday league teams play their cup final down at Bromley.
Don't get me wrong. I think these are kind of things when you talk about the Prem money trickling down or whatever. These are the kind of things where can the solution be found? Can there be some sort of grant, etc., that allows them to still provide those facilities to the community and keep their pitch? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even I think it was in the Wrexham documentary. I think. I don't want to make numbers up here, but it was serious six figures to relay the pitch. It wasn't cheap. It was 300-400 grand, and for a club like Bromley, that could be a lot of money. However, look, it's all in the contract. If you want to join the Football League, you must have a grass pitch. It's not new news. Everyone's known it for years. And for years, you've been trying to get there.
Yeah.
So, you know, play on grass.
And one last thing, big up Jude winning La Liga with Real Madrid.
Yes. One of only 5, I think, Englishmen to have won La Liga. 5 or 6. I saw a few stats on it. So
I wouldn't even know. I know Beckham has.
Beckham, Owen.
Come on. There's an obvious one.
Did Owen win it?
You should know the other one. Come on, bro.
McManaman.
Yes. Then there was a black player that went there in the 70s.
What's his name? Cunningham.
Yeah, Laurie Cunningham.
Oh, wow.
And
Winger.
Yeah.
And then Jude. I think I've left someone out. There was someone before Laurie Cunningham. I think so. But yeah, well done. And he might do Champions League and League double. He might.
You know, I know we're trying to wrap up. If he wins Champions League, does decent in the Euros.
He's going to get
Ballon d'Or.
Okay,
They'll do it.
So it's not outlandish, yeah?
No, they'll do it because they love him. The football would love him. He'll do it. Who else
I
is
think
going to win
he's
it?
getting top 3 regardless.
Yeah, who else is going to? Who's in the running? Who else?
Kane.
Nah.
Yeah. Kane with all them goals. If England do well at the Euros, like we're saying, Jude's going to do well. England
Can they
do well.
No, they're playing in the semis.
Yeah. Haaland?
Nah, he's not even at the Euros. He can't win it. He can't make the Euros.
You got to play in the Euros at least.
So I'm not sure who's competition is.
Just a quick one. How do you guys see the semi-finals going? Champions League this week, the second legs. Both of them are tight.
PSG, Real
I
Madrid.
think they needed 2 goals, man.
You think they come back?
Well, Dortmund needed 2 goals.
Yeah.
1-0.
I reckon.
It's in Stade de France, bruv.
No, I reckon Dortmund win that. I think Dortmund go through.
Nah.
I can see Dortmund scoring at PSG.
I can, but I don't see Dortmund keeping PSG to 1 or 2 goals.
I think so.
I want them to go through, but I don't think they will.
I want PSG to go through, but I think Dortmund will.
No, I want Dortmund to go through. That would be
Dortmund
sick.
would be
That would be nice.
Yeah,
No, but I think it'll be a bigger final if PSG's there.
I think the Champions League final's big regardless, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Like at Wembley.
No, you don't want...
It's a
you know what I want? It's either be a Dortmund Bayern final
Don't want that.
or PSG Real final.
Because we had the Dortmund, last time it was Wembley, it was Dortmund Bayern.
Yeah, true.
We don't want that
PSG Real.
PSG Real
is the blockbuster. That's the Hollywood final.
That's the one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want that.
Yeah, I didn't even realise that Wembley, bruv. I'm not trying to get tickets, nothing.
That's why they were. Oh, it's like that, yeah? Like for some.
No, I said I didn't even try to enter a ballot. I didn't even clock.
They weren't cheap, though. They weren't cheap. But I suppose
Champions League final, bruv. If I go to one in my life, cool, innit? So yeah, but I think we're gonna get a PSG Real final. That's what I think.
Okay. I think it's gonna be Real versus Dortmund.
You think so? I don't have that much faith in Dortmund's defense, bro. I don't have that faith in Dortmund's defense.
I just think they'll score. I don't have much faith in PSG's defense.
It's their attack I'm talking about. Their attack. All right, cool.
I was just double checking something, but I think Falkirk went invincible this season in League One in Scotland. I'm just double.
Who cares,
checking.
bro? Tell us who's going to win the Champions League final. Who's going to win the Champions League final?
Who's going to win it?
No, who's going to get there?
I said Dortmund and PSG and Real Madrid.
Yeah, okay. Same. Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, no, big up Falkirk, man. It's hard to go all seasons.
Sorry,
we're a football podcast, man. Little shout out. Man.
I'm not gonna lie for the mic. I don't business. All right, guys. Next week.
Peace.